What's going on, guys? Today we are trying to figure out what the heck is going on with these light bulbs. I had a light go out in my shop out here, and so I got on the internet, got to looking for a light bulb. I didn't know they made so many light bulbs for these things. Guys, let me show you what I got here. The one I had, it broke loose at the base down here. It was damaged in shipping. It worked for a little while and went out. And it was just like this one here. If you notice the tip on it there, that is the shape, and it's called a BT. I bet you can't see that on camera. Anyway, it's wrote on there BT 37, and that is supposed to be the shape. It's a 400 watt metal halide, and this is for a pulse start ballast. I thought all three of these lights were pulse start, but one of them is older. The one I've had for a while, come to find out, it is not a pulse start. It is the standard start. And the difference is, if you look right here, this is the standard start bulb, probe start they call it. And it has this little switch here in there. It's a thermal switch, I guess. And that is supposed to make the bulb start, and then after the bulb warms up, that switch opens and it just stays running on its own then. And if you look here on the top of it, that is for an M59 lamp. So the whole time I thought all three of these lights were the same, and I ordered a bulb. I couldn't find a bulb with this BT style with this nose on it, but what I found was, I think these are called ED styles, and if you notice, the top of it's made different. And this is for a M135/M155 ballast is what these are supposed to work with, and that's what the pulse start is. And so I ordered three of these, and as you can tell, that is the only difference. I ordered three of these right here. These are two that's already out of light. I've already put two of these in, but I didn't know these were different right here. So I put this bulb, the new bulb, in this M59 light, which from what I've read on the internet actually shouldn't start, but it did start and worked. So I'm a little confused there. Maybe it's a hit and miss on which ones will or won't. But these lights I have, if you notice, this base here has got a pointed end on it. They made these in a base that's got like a more of a rounded end, looks more like a standard household light bulb. And then they made these with this pointed base. And the difference is, if you look at the arc tube right here, it's going to be hard to see this on camera, but I'll try to show it. The arc tube there, if you look, is protected. It's got a glass shield around it. See the little wire cage around it on each end, and then there's a glass shield, circular glass shield that goes around that arc tube. And these are for use in lights that don't have a dome to cover the bulb. The bulb's exposed, because these bulbs are known to fail if left on for a long time. They recommend turning these off for at least 15 minutes a week and letting them cool down, from what I've read. And if that is to allow the bulb that is getting ready to fail, that it will fail on startup, and not fail when it's hot and under pressure, I guess, because they've known to fail violently. And this arc tube apparently can bust and rupture the bulb and spray hot glass fragments all over workers or anybody standing below it. But with this tube here surrounding, cylindrical tube surrounding the arc tube, is supposed to help keep that from happening, I guess. I don't know if you can tell how well the camera's picking that up, the glass tube there that I'm talking about that's surrounding the arc tube. But so that's the differences I found, is the bulbs. Like I say, the bases are different for these, and when it has this pointed base, that means it has this protective tube around the arc tube. And they made it like that so that the non-protected arc tube bulbs won't fit in the base with these here because it won't come on. It'll screw in supposedly, but it won't come on because this probe won't stick up in there and touch the contacts. And this is for the probe start, and these are both pulse start, but they're different shape bulbs. And I really don't think the shape makes that much difference. I don't really understand that about the shape of it. I don't think it affects the brightness or whatever. I'm not sure why they're different shapes. They made them in different shapes, I guess. I'm not really sure on that. But so that's what I found out so far. And I'm going to go ahead and put this bulb in the last light, and then I'm going to cut them off and turn them back on and see if the one that I put that's got the standard to start ballast will restrike this bulb here, because what they say, it has problems producing enough voltage, and that's the reason it has 3 wires going to it with this switch here, is the way the ballast is built. But if it works, I'll leave it in there. If not, I'll have to go back and swap it. And also the pulse start lights appear to be a little bit brighter, and I read that as well. And but I'm going to go ahead here and put this bulb in, and we'll turn them off and turn them back on and see what it looks like. So hang tight. Alright guys, I got that bulb in there. They're so bright it's hard for the camera to even pick up the lights, but this is the pulse start, that's a probe start, that's a pulse start. But they're all working with pulse start bulbs. So the one in the middle there is the one that's different, but it looks the same to me. So I'm gonna unplug them and wait about 10 minutes and plug them back in. You know, this metal halide's got a restrike time, and we'll see that they all come back on. And if that one, I'm guessing that one in the middle is going to take a little longer to come back on, if it comes back on at all. That's the reason, from what I've read, that you use the other type bulb, because that ballast don't have enough high voltage to strike the arc. Best I understand it anyway. Alright guys, it's been about 10 minutes and I have just plugged the lights back in here. And as you can see, the ones on the end have restruck and the one in the middle has not. So I don't know if it even will. Alright guys, it's been about 20 minutes. The other lights have been back on. This one has not restruck yet, so it's probably not going to. I guess the only reason it did to start with, maybe because it's so cold. The ballast was so cold, it was 30 something degrees out here, that it had enough energy to strike the bulb one time. As you know, electrons or whatever, the little electrical gremlins go through the little circuit a lot better when it's cold than it does when it's hot. So I'm guessing that's what was going on. As you can see right there, it says use an M59 type lamp. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the M59 bulb back in there, take the M135 bulb out, out with the new, in with the old. Alrighty, I guess that's how it's gonna be, guys. Quite difficult to do this and hold a camera up here 20 foot in the air, close to it. It's a long way down there. But anyway, so that's how it's gonna be. I didn't know this light was different, I mean, because it looks identical, but I guess it's just the older version, had an older ballast. But I reckon it will work. So I will see you guys next time. I'm going to turn this off and get down before I fall down. Later, guys.